Well, I thought I'd better show you what I was doing because I had said that I would continue filming this. So my challenge is, as you remember from yesterday, is to fill and re-drill. So I've got some plugs of sapele here, which are too big because it's always the way. So I'm just going to show you how I get them down to size. Oh, like so, eh? Gets hot eventually. So there's a bit of thinning down, and there we go, nice fit. So I'm going to take this one off. You can see I've had to drill into the end and then sort of manipulate it until it sits there nicely. So that's going to go in there. So same with this one. Put all these away. So I used a plug cutter first of all to drill the plugs, funnily enough. And I've got two. And then this bit here, I'm basically sort of drilling the end by eye really. So I get my drill and I'm going in the bottom here and hoping that I make it nice and straight. You can't see. I've got a little groove cut down the side of these plugs already. I mean, these aren't perfectly positioned, I'm afraid. That wasn't brilliant, but I shall do my best. Yeah, so I've cut a little groove down the side of them already because what I want is to, when I put them in, I want it to be so that any excess glue can come out. Obviously, you've got to get these sort of so they fit, turn without wobbling too much. It's a bit like that thing, lathe. So the idea is we're going to just use this to take down the thickness of this piece here. Not much, but it's a good little way of doing it. It's the only way I've ever worked out how to do it. And there you go, that's pretty much spot on. With a bit of glue around that will be no trouble. So what we've got is we've got two blocks with a groove down the side to allow glue out. This bit's going at the bottom, that bit's going to stick out the top, and we'll end up squishing them in like that. Then we'll mark over the top of them for the new center points. So what I don't know, first of all, well I kind of do know, let's rephrase that. I think these aren't long enough. I can't cut these pieces long enough to fill up, so it may be that they're going to sink a little bit too far in, so I've got to measure this wherever I've put my thing. Let's just see whether we're going to fall into the hole or not. Yeah, we are. We've got a couple of mils. So what I think I might do is somewhere in here there's a spare bit, and I might just look at borrowing, if I can do the same again to this. I can make myself another bit to do this. Not ideal, but we can sort of just build it up. What we don't want is these pieces to fall into the hole. We want them to sort of stick near the surface. So this is not a very well fitted piece. As you can tell, this is going to spin all over the place. So I'm basically trying to find a way to attach this. It's pretty much off center, so it's not going to be happy. I'll try with that. And what I'll do then is cut this in two, and we'll bury a bit in each hole. There you go, a bit more to come off there. Should be right. So all of this, there you go, I think that'll do. As I say, not perfect, but workable. So what I want now is this into two, and I don't have the most amount of room. So how much have I got? I've got about, okay, now am I going to cut this? I'm just going to go across and cut it in bandsaw. Well, it's not a lot to hold on to, that's the only trouble. Let's see, can we do it? Yeah, we probably can. I'd say that has cut it to a nice flat shape. Next thing I want to do is just would like to coping saw it, but I busted the coping saw blade, so I will carefully hacksaw this bit to the correct size. See, a little bit more. So this is the remedial work. Basically, I'm going ahead with this, whether, I'll tell you in a minute, hold on. Bear with me. I'll sit up here, bugger. That'll do. Two pieces, not exactly equal, but we'll make them work. Yeah, so the issue here was always one of what's Andrew going to do in respect of the cellar, and I just think the best we can do is just try to get a bit of a refund, partial refund. You know, I said the way I would go about doing it is to say I'd want the refund to sort of match what I've got to spend in getting this repaired, which is all this work here. So, you know, we could basically show this video as what it takes to put it right. You know, in real terms, filling an existing hole and, you know, re-drilling the position, the correct position, is quite tricky. It takes, you know, a couple of hours. Okay. So what I've got is I've got my bits to go in, and I've got my extra bits to go in the bottom. Now what I'm hoping is that these two bits combined will equal the full length I want to go, and they won't be perfectly even. Yes, they will. That's good on that side. And this one is good on this side, so they aren't going to be perfect. Yeah, in fact, no, neither side is going to match absolutely perfectly. Really just want it to stand on and then grip. So we're not worried about the grip here. That's going to grip, and that's going to grip around the edges. So there's our two sides to tap into place. What I would do now is get me some glue. So on the bridge part here, this is not where the this isn't where the grounding wire goes, so there's no worry here about clogging that up. That goes out of the the stop bar housing bridge thing. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck a load of glue into here on both sides. When you have to fill and re-drill, it's impossible to make the hole completely invisible, or the repair, because you see when you move the thing out of the way, you see the extra bit of room, the extra bit of wood. So that's just how it is. Let me just get this kitchen wall. So what I was going to do today in this session was basically to do this repair here, drill new holes, and then I was aiming to rout the P90 cavities. So in goes the first one. So the question is, please make this fit. If it doesn't fit, I could be bashing away at this for quite some time. That actually feels a little bit too snug for my liking. So I may look at pulling that out for a second. Like I say, what I absolutely don't want to do is end up with this thing kind of stuck down the side there. So I'm going to sort of lightly hand sand it a little bit more. This obviously is not perfect sanding, but if I'm careful I should be able to very slightly reduce it, probably, hopefully just enough to give it a better reach in there. Like I say, if it's wrong, if it don't work, it don't work. Let's just encourage it all the way down. Lovely, glue spurts up through the hole in the middle. Yes. Let's do this again over here. So these are just really spacers. Hope you can see that. Yeah, of course you can. Oh, maybe you can't. Damn. There we are. Spacers are in, sitting nicely down. Now here comes the business end. We're gonna throw in this bit here. So this is going to be, this is where we hope it all fits nicely. Look at that, booty. And we'll do the same over here. And then we've got a bit sticking up, which we can sand back, scrape back, whatever we need to do later. Better that we make it solid and then worry about that bit. It's never easy. We'll do a combination of chiseling and so on. But as you can see, that is fitted. And once this is dry, we'll be on target for the re-drill. I didn't even too much worry about the grain or anything. Most of that will be taken away by the new thing. Now I was going to order the other day one of these flush blades. I was really going to do that, so I might have to wear this away in a less clever way, like chiseling, sawing. Have I got a flat saw, bendy saw? Do you know what? I probably haven't. If anything, I've got a big saw like this, which we could probably put to work here as good as anything else. We've got to be able to cut upwards with these. Definitely could do with one of those Chinese saws, Japanese saws, but you know, that's not bad going. So on this, so basically now, before we do any clearing up, we could just draw the line, and he's lost his blasted marker pen. We could draw the line across there. If we just wanted to drill straight off like that, we could go right in. Now the reason I wanted to take that, cut that flat now, was more so I could get the router in here and do this part of it. So you can see that's the first bit challenge taken care of. Getting the saw, that basically house saw thing, standard wood saw, getting that to cut flat-ish but upwards-ish. It's not too hard, just be careful, that's all. Here we go again. Here we go again. So we start cutting. And basically twisting it up. So overall, not a bad start. Nothing we can't sand off. A little bit of flattening out to do there, but again, I can draw my line across there and come back when I'm ready to drill. And actually, since a lot of this is going to be material that's removed, there's no real reason why not to just go in and drill out and tidy up the edge afterwards. So there's my marks. On your marks, get set, go. Now of course the important thing here, if we make our marks, is to measure them, and we have to be looking at a 74 gap. Sorry, blood, we'll sound that off. You won't see this in the finished item. So the important thing is the 74mm spacing, and of course the fact that it's got a space around the center line. So let's do this here. Okay, well this is actually coming in at 74.5. So what did we say? It was 37 and 74. 37, 74. 37 is 74. Why did I do 37.25? I've built in an extra ½ mil. I did that when I marked it up. Oh. Let's try this again. Okay, so if we don't like that, we can do this. We can reborrow the line. Which is there. And then we'll mark up the center line again. Sorry if the view is a bit funny. There's the center line. So we go 37 out either side to get our center of our 74 mark. There's one, and there's twain, two. And then the two marks should be 74 apart. There you go, dead on 74. That's better. So that's my positioning redone. Now what you can do at this point is you can take an object like so and make your mark, if you can see what you're doing. There's one. Here's the other. And just double check. Double, triple, treble, triple. Now, the thing we've got to do is we now have to get the closest drill bit for the re-drill. Okay, we've got exactly 74 there, which is good. And that's equal either side. Now, what we've got over here is we've got space to do the routing of the P90 cavities, which is what I want to do next. So I'm going to kind of tear a line down here to clear this up. Just want to get rid of the whatever's on the edge of this. Something like that. I mean, we can get rid of all of that now because we've got our marks actually. We've got our centre marks and we've got our marks. Now, somebody observed on the Facebook thing the other day, don't mind the blood, that now what we've got with the centre line down here, we've actually got these that are going to be possibly slightly out of whack, but I'm not entirely sure. Let's just assume that it's starting wrong here and not there. We might be lucky. We might be. Now, the thing we've got to work towards now is, of course, fitting any one of these things, and they're always too tight a fit. The holes on here appear to be 11.5, which of course I don't have a drill for. There's no such thing. The nearest we're going to get for re-drilling is 11.87. Now that will probably allow that to drop straight in, but let's see. 11.94, that's just about right, but could be fractionally loose. 12.13, that's a bit bigger. So 11.8 to 12, that's probably quite a good tap in, but they're slightly different from each other. So that one's 12.02, 11.98, 12.15, 12.14. So those two are the same. 12.14 versus 11. That's actually not a bad thing. We want them a little bit tight, and so this one could actually be the right one for here. Now, next thing we want to do is, if we're going to go with that, let's make sure we've got the right height. So once this is in, we don't really have to wait for the glue to dry, because it's tightly in place, so there's nothing else really happening. So all I want to do now is gauge how deep I need this hole to be. And of course, the idea is I want this to sit proud of the top a little bit. So there's my edge there. I go down to that far. You should just sit fractionally over the edge, but it's difficult to get this stuff on in a straight line without changing the fit. Again, double checking. So that's to there, that should sit on there, great. So in principle, we could go straight in there. I'm just gonna make a bit of a deeper hole here. And here. A little bit difficult to see now because I've gone back to the original marked holes, which weren't perfect. So that one, 73, yeah, just about 74. Okay, so if I were to now go across this messy department to over here, taking this drill bit with me with my depth gauge and keeping aside the two that I know I'm going to use, I can now get me a little bit of rubber. Put that up there. I'll put that out of the way first. I'm going to do the routing in the other room, but I could still take you with me for a little bit of work. But first I've got to find the P90 template, which is in there somewhere. Well, that's torn up the underlying bit a little bit, but that's fine because that's going to sit in there and that will tap in nicely. So let's do the other one. Of course, the question is, once we tap them in, how will the bridge fit? We should be all right. So there's a bit of warm, wet, damp stuff. Now let's have a look to the inside of that mark. bit of a lip still standing up on this on here, but we'll chisel that off a bit later. Let's just go for a sort of test, a gauge. Now obviously these waggle around and point in different directions, but just as a start we should be able to assess fairly quickly that that fits. There you go. Now that's the secret of success. Ta-da! That's what we want. All right, onwards and upwards. So I'm going to put this to one side. That's, I know what we want to do. I'll shave this back later. Now I'm going to go over here. Still zoomed out. Yes, I'm going to go out and grovel around here looking for the P90. Rout, Trekkie edge rout. Ooh, P90. That looks a bit like a P90 to me. But of course, the only way to tell is to drop that in there. That's about right. It's a little bit bigger, obviously, because it fits in. But we've got to fit that in, so that's going to fit flat on the ground. It's not going to sit over the top like this. The problem is, let's just see what happens here. Yeah, that will encompass the whole thing. That's okay. Right, so that will slot into there. They'll go into the hole, which is a bit odd. Yeah, it's not exactly odd, is it? Because this one's going to go into the hole too. So really, this is a better guide. This is going to sit in there like that. And that will be attached to the wood. In the case of the humbucker, it will sit in there like that, and the humbucker will hang from this ring, but this ring will sit against the wood. That's the idea. But can it do that? Let's just make sure, because it's almost as if it wasn't intended that way. That's got to sit above there. It'll sit up like that. But with that sort of bridge, you'd expect it, but it can't go any lower than that. That's the point. Yeah. Because this isn't a ring technically, and it can't be because it's not wide enough to cover up the ears on that. Right, so we've got a bit of a brain thingy here. This has to go only to a certain depth. The problem of it is, if it goes to that depth, then we can only come up from there. That's okay. If we go to that depth, right, we'll stick to that depth on both of them. We'll be all right. Yeah, all right. Right, so what I'm going to do is, that looks okay. There's a bit of a wobble. Maybe there is, you know. Damn. Bit of a... I'll look for a bit more. Keep looking. I know that I've got a pile of plywood. There's a sort of P90-ish thing, but none of them look massively, totally 100% sharp. Which bugs me a bit. Next humbucker. Next PRS. Right, let's find the acrylic ones, shall we? No. Loads of strap ones. No, this is the tremolo one. Humbuckers, battery compartments, strap weight reliefs, Floyd Rose, 3-time mini humbuckers. Strange thing. Right, here's the acrylic one. Here's the acrylic one. Looking for a New England. No. So we've got two. One is this one here, and one is that one there. I think they both suffered a bit somewhere in the making. Yeah, they both had a little bit of a squelch. I can't really do much adjustment to any of these other than flatten them out a bit. That's probably the best one I've got out of all of them. I mean, it is not 10,000,000% perfect, but it's not that bad. It's just this one got, I think this one got slightly eaten by a router bit. That's the problem, sometimes you get that happen. So I don't know whether this is cleanable, uppable into working condition. We could probably sort of resin modify that. It's a bit of a longer term project, but probably just as easy and saves a lot of time just to buy another acrylic one and make a master out of that. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good actually. We've got 3679, 3620. So maybe 0.5 millimeter difference. Just straighten that out a bit. So this enlarged route would now open up, take away all of these little horns, and we'd end up with the whole pickup sitting inside there, or the ring sitting inside there in both cases. So that's what we're going to do. So to get this done, we've got, I think this comes with registration marks, but I think I'm going to work by eye on this because we've got to keep it following the original lines. So I think it is a visual thing, and I've got to guess the same amount either side and line it up visually as good as it can go. So I'm extending in both directions and lining it up something like that. I'll do the same for the other one. So you can see it just runs to the outside. It's pretty good. And again, same thing down here. We use the ears first to line it up side to side, and then we're just looking for the kind of bounding width, which should be about like so. I think that will be a good one. Okay, so that's my guide to do. Now for this, I'm going to need to set this up with, I did it this side, so I'll stay with it on this side, so it sort of follows it. What I didn't do is it's probably got a slight difference either side. So I think I'll go this towards the neck side in both cases. And then I will attach my start double-sided sticky. Can you see all of that going on? Yes. So this stuff is absolutely brilliant for doing templates. Wouldn't use any other stuff. This is Duck brand permanent double-sided carpet tape stuff, but it's really good. It makes a sort of sticky web, which all comes off as a web when you want to take it off. So you don't end up, it all peels off nicely. You don't end up with any stuff lying around, you know, needing solvents and stuff like that. So it just does exactly what you want. So what I'll do is I'll lay on this first template where we want it, and then I will transfer to the other room. I guess we have to take the camera with us and fire a load of sawdust everywhere. So we're going to take this down to the same depth as it already is routed. So come to here, and this positioning is a little bit delicate, so we want to get this in the right position before we even risk dropping it down. So it's just a sort of shuttling backwards and forwards a bit, go, and we go something like that. So there we are. So that plus that plus that. Now I'm going to go and get the router and the router bits and put the door on not lock. Now I've got to find me the router bits. I've got to find me router bits. I need my router spanner. It's there. Is it there? Why isn't that? Yes, it is. Your router spanner. Cutter for that. Power. Da da da. Well, we could be really cute and take all of these together like this. Of course, one bit will be wobbly, won't it? Oh, you can hear the wind going. Sorry. Hello. Hello, sanding room. Well, you can see it's a filthy room where a lot of mess gets made, which is good. We'll work down 3 different depths of router bits. Starting with the smallestest first. Pretty easy little job this, providing this comes out. So I'll go with the smaller one first, in place, tighten, refix, and there's just going to be a noise in a case of shucking a load of sawdust around. Right, that'll give us a good mark. Let's have a look how we're doing here. Right, let's assume we keep that there. Ready? Mind your ears. Tiny bit more downwards on this one. Now we change bits. I wonder if we could jump straight to number 3, or am I just fooling myself? I should be able to tell. Technically, probably. Go to there, go to there, down to there. Drop it down to the ground level and we'll pull it up a fraction. Well, we would. What am I doing? Start again. Drop it down to the ground level. Lock it up. Actually. Why is that not clicked on there? Silly boy. Thank you. Done. Well, there's about 1/3 of a millimetre. Well, that drags now. No? Okay. Perfect. So first one done. So good stuff. Good thing about this, as you can see, that it comes off as a web. Sometimes it takes a bit of a layer of the ply, because ply is not very strong in that way. But more often than not, it comes off as this pliable web that you can bundle up and bin. And that's what I like about it. Plus the fact that it's mighty strong and it will kind of hold together forever. Right, so I'm going to just line up the next lot. Okay, actually it looks pretty good. It looks better on here than it does staring at the template, because when you look at a template you tend to see all its inadequacies or find fault with it, because you're always aiming for perfection. Okay, so here we are, ready for the next one. Same game. This light isn't quite so good in here, so I'm just going to be very careful lowering this down. Of course, this is missing, it's not really gripping that much, is it? Stop and think about that. Because of the drop, so a lot of that grip isn't doing. I should have put a longer strip on there rather than a small strip. Note to self for future Firebird routings. Okay, so once I've done this, I think I will be, now I know the bridge works, I think I will be leaving the rest for later on, where hopefully we can fit the bridge, fit the neck, fit the tuners, and do the basic geometrical setup. I say geometrical setup like there's any kind of other, but I guess what I mean is that precision setup, fret leveling, etc., but without anything else done. So it looks like it's too early, but it's not. Good. There, drop it to the ground, lock it up, go. Rout's done. One of the things I was checking today was whether this kit would work with full-size pots or not before I order any. So it's pretty close together grouping of controls actually, which suggests that it might only work with mini pots, and depending on how close they are to the inside of the thingy, but we shall see. pile everything back up the way it used to be. Go the right way. Go the right way. Right. Messy room. Well, that's what it's for. It's my sawdust room. Come with me, and you'll see in a world of my imagination. Yeah, da 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 da. Oops, there goes some paper. Every one of you, come on, paradise. Simply look around and view it. Right. Hello there. Covered in sawdust. Shut down. This. Re-drill, refill and re-drill. Done that bit. P90's done. Very good. Basically, we're sort of nylon ready to put the thing together. I might just do that and then hang it up. Can I? Oh, I can't do this very well, sorry. Yeah, so I could hang it up. That. What's this? Leftover spare springs for things. Okay. That dry out, sand back through there, out there. Good. That's easy. Through there. That's switching. What a load of wire that's going to require to get from there to there. A lot of wire just to get across the body. Just the luxury of having a switch in that particular position. Okay, so all good. Let's have a quick look. Where's my pots, baby? 250k pots, so what are we looking at? 500k. No, P90s. P90 and humbucker, 500k, right. Where are they, baby? Come on. All kinds of things in here. Let's test. I had a whole set of alpha pots. No, not alpha pots. What were they called? They came from somewhere. Who knows? Right. So if these were going in here, yes, we can probably get away with. So what did we start out looking for? Sorry. I wanted a series of. Well, first of all, one of these has got to be a push-pull of this type. That's what we said. One of them is going to have a switch on it. And then there was a set of, what are these? Bourne's pots. Okay, but then I also bought a handful of other pots, which I've now misplaced. Where would I put them? 250k pots, were they in there really? Okay, these are 250k. Who were they made by? They're not the ones. These are not the pots I'm looking for. Switches, no. These, I have another set of pots, mini pots, full-size pots. Are these them? No, it's a different set. God, spares everywhere. The point I'm trying to make here to myself is that it's a whole set that I just brought in from buying, and I have sort of misplaced them, which is a bit of a weird thing to do. Some things in there, put them in there, put them in there, put them in there. some things were. That was in there. That was in there. Oh my God, I'm losing my marbles. So they're not there. I can look at them. Right, well I've lost, forgotten where I put this whole set of new pots. 4 of them in a bag, and they came from, it was Music Lily, wasn't it? That's where they came from. It was from Music Lily, and I've misplaced them. They're not on the table here. That's some jack sockets. They're not in there because that's separate. I mean, frankly, that's what I bought them for, to use in just this thing. Unless I chucked them over here, saying you're going to need them all in one pile. But obviously I didn't, because they aren't there. Did I not? Vibramate, pickups, Bigsby. Well, so there you have it. All of that I managed to mislay a bunch of pots. It's not the end of the world, I've got more and different. Just last year I bought them for exactly this. Did I put them in here? Were they just, I've got a ton of 500Ks in here. I think I'll just have to use these and worry about everything next. So that's a, what is this? I don't even know what it is. 500K A's. 500K A's. That's 500K. These are separate. Something else. 500K. Right. So we've got Bourne's 250K. Bourne's. Where did that have that written on it? 250K. Bourne's B250K. Am I mad? It's Alpha B500K. Linear. We wanted B's because we can't get reverse tapers. That's D250K. What the hell is a D250K? Oh, wait a minute. C, D. Oh, help me. Is D the reverse taper? This is where I need to consult the oracle. D. Wake up. Kidding me? You charged up. Now I've got to figure out whether a D is in fact the reverse taper. I know there's a logic behind this. But if that were the case, that's a 500K push. We'd want a 500K B, and for that's tone and tone. And here we have, could have a 250K for P90. But let's find out what D actually equals. Bourne's D250K. If it's a reverse taper, that would be useful. I knew I had some, but... Alright, go away. Go away. Get away. No, photocalorie, go away. I don't want it. Jesus. When you don't want it, it doesn't obey you. Go away. Bourne's. Go away. This phone is slow. It's just restarted and it's probably not awake. Holy crap. B-O-U-R-N-S. Bond. D250K. Pot. Anybody want to tell me what the D pot is? Oh my God. Yeah, I got D's. Agree. Get out of my face. Taper is a D taper. Logarithmic made linear segments. What? Okay, well that's interesting. So it's not a reverse taper. D250. D2. Okay, so there's a comparison between high degree of incremental sensitivity. Red is the D. The answer is no. What was the question? C. Oh, so C is the reverse taper. Great. Right, well, I better go linear then, hadn't I? Since I don't really want another version of the audio taper working. So what have we got? So we need 250k, basically linear. So we've got a B 250k here, and we want B 250ks. That shouldn't be in there. That shouldn't be in there. That's 250 as well. That's 500. So those 3, 4. Those are 250s. Back with you in a second. 2 500s. Let's find the 250k pots and let's dig out. What have we got? No, these are analog tapers. Holy crap. A 500k, B 500k. Right. No, yes. No, we want 250k. Man. A 250k. Are there B 250ks in the world? Are you for real? So that's a reverse. Ooh, reverse taper. Hold on, hold fire. Wait a minute. Right, good. Wait, stop. Those go in there. Reverse taper. So we can use these. Alrighty. So 250k alpha. Is that a reverse taper? We don't know, but we know that one is. Reverse taper, WD250R reverse taper. Right, so we've got, what do we want a reverse taper for? Okay, so we want, that's going to be volume. We haven't got a B reverse taper, have we? Blast. Oh, the things. This is such a confusing bundle of things. So that reverse taper is a WD250R, and I've written reverse taper on it. That's a Bourne's pot. Those are spares, B500Ks, A500Ks. All of these spares, alpha 250. No idea if any of these are reverse. A250. D250s, we know we've got D250s here. We've got CTS 250s, that's an audio taper. CTS 2030, 1 meg, it's no good. We've got CTS 250, CTS 250, and that is, I don't even know what that is, 250. S 250 CTS SPL 25 SPL. Let's find another one of those. 250 25 SPL. Right, 500k, 250k, 250k, 250k. Let's see what the Google says about CTS 250 SPL, CTS 250 SPL pot. We don't even know. Well, don't tell me that stands for split shaft. 250 SPL. Short load, no that. Short load that. Yeah, but what does it say on it? Audio taper, Bourne's 500 Premium Series SPL. Is that what it says? Yeah, it does, SPL. SPL, black case, split shaft, audio pod. But it doesn't say audio. Unless it's automatically an audio pod. Right, well, the truth is, if it has a taper, we don't really want it to be the other way around. So all of these damn things are A's. EPS 250 CTS. We don't even know what that is. We have this one as reverse. We know that's reverse, but we don't have another one. We know this is a A250, A250. 250, we don't know anything else about it. So we've got a B2, a B500K. That shouldn't even be in there. Alpha B250. B250. Where's the other one we had? That's what we want. B250. D250 we don't want. 1 meg we don't want. A250 we don't want. It's a D. It's a D, that's a D. And that's a D as well. With 1 meg. So that's an A. A250. A250. The bottom line is we've got those two, we don't know what they are. They're SPL. We've got that one that's a reverse taper and this one that's a linear, which we could use. That one actually is probably too short. Holy crap. Do we have anything else here that's going to work? Let's see what we've got here. CTS. It's a dual concentric pot. Oh my gosh. CTS 50KA. What? Nope. The fella has no idea what's going on here. This doesn't make good television, I know. B500K. I could do all of them at 500K for P90, but I'm just trying to be finicky. Well, what's this one that's at home? This is a 250K, that's an A. It's a CTS 50KA. No, not even using that. So that's no good. B500s we could use. B500s. Ton of spares over here. Quick look. Oh, here they are. 500K. Make these Bs, would you? No! Did I buy all A's? I'll poke my own eyes out. I bought all A's. Therefore, great for right-handed, but this is left-handed and they don't want the taper back front. So these are 500Ks. So we've got a B250, 250s. Well, hang on. Let's see. B250. Here we've got a B500 if necessary. We don't want to mess around with any more A's. Get in there. So you are an A250. 250 in there. 500Ks in there. Now, do we have a B500K? Well, we do. Look at that, right there. Sitting there, waiting to go. Let us just hold on to that for a minute. So, long enough, long enough, long enough, long enough, long enough. Missing some bits, got them. B500K. There we go. A500K. Alpha. A500. 1 meg. Right, chuck that in there. 500s. Okay, dokie. We've got the bits we need. And the question was, do they fit? Do they? And I think the answer is, yes, they do. And that will be it for now. Sorry about that exciting little diversion. So they'll fit in just about. When you actually see the spacing on the other side, the knobs are going to look just slightly out of position. Whether or not I could fix them is another matter. Chuck those in there. Now what we also want is a three-way switch. If we've got any three-way switches, none there. Just need to know whether to order one. Three-way switches, anyone? Let's go this in here. What's that one? Dawn's A500. Three-way switches, anyone? Nope, nope. Three-way switches in there, nope. Nothing. Three-way switches in here. Five-way switches. Oh yeah, here we go. Three-way switch, good. Now I have them. Three-way switch. Missing. We want a cream thing, so we'll nick the washer off this one, although it's not quite right, but it'll do. It is right, it'll just do. There we go. Please fit on there, make the thread right. Come on, you know you can do it. Right, if you ain't going to play this game, right, you ain't. In that case, you come off there, you go back on there where you belong, you go on there, you go on there, maybe, possibly. Good. It's always the way. No. 1, 1, 1. Maybe, possibly. Yes. Come on you go. There we are. Chuck that over there. That's with that. You go back on there. No. You go back on there. You go back in there. Right. I have, it is official, I have found the pots. I have located the switches necessary. What did I need to do tonight? Oh yeah, physical setup. So I'll come back and be ready to do that because it would be hidden by now. So we can solve that problem. But this is just going to be where it is. Whether you can actually reach any of these controls with that jack socket sticking out there is anyone's guess. I think it's a stupid design, honestly, and I would be happier if the jack came in through the sidewall here, but it's not how it is on the kit, so we can't really do anything about these unless we moved all of those, but there's no room to move them anywhere else. So the best one, that's the best movement, that one is the best movement of all. But like I say, having the jack ending up sitting in here next to the knob is, like I say, we could fill that, and we could go in. I would go in through here. There's a lot to drill through, but actually it's actually sticking out the back. But it could be down the bottom here, but that's possibly in the way of the leg. But always better that it comes straight out from underneath. I would suggest that it does that. It comes out vertically there, clear of the leg, comes out the bottom. When you're playing it, it's just going straight down, and then possibly fill this. I'll make a note and see what we say. So fill, and then I'm buggering off. Fill. Question. Move. Move. Fill. And then on the end here, we'll have, oh, sorry, we'll have an exit here. Jack, exit here. The reason it's better that it comes out at the bottom is it's a much stronger joint. If it comes out here, if it comes out there, that's a much stronger joint. Nothing will split. This wood here will eventually split. Maybe not, it's quite thick, but potentially, especially with these holes here, one's going to be fairly close. And it's going to be in the way of the knobs and stuff. So I just think that's a bad choice. I'd rather fill it, live with the hole and reroute it to a more, a safer, more substantial point. And as you can probably just about see, if I haven't switched it off, I don't know what you can see now, I'm hopeless. right down there sort of thing. If you can see, and I'm playing it. Now if it's on my knee at any time, the jack's coming out of there, which is somewhere down there. The jack's coming out there as well, clear of my knee. Okay, all things bright and beautiful, all guitar builds great and small. I'm going to say thank you. 1 hour and 19 minutes of this. So yeah, I'm going to call that quits for now, and I'll see you later on, when this will all be miraculously tidied up when I come up later. But later on, sand this back, fit the neck, fit the tuners, fit the bridge, fit the stop, fit the Bigsby, wire up, load up, do the fret work, and then once that's done, strip it all back out, and then it'll be time to start doing the grain filling. I'm not 100% sure what the outlook of this will be in the end, but we can only do what we can. It's not the worst looking material. I'll get the blood stains off it before I go any further. Anyway, righty ho, there we have it. See you in a bit.